Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I am back with another apartment renovation, and I am renovating 910 Medina Studios, which is the apartment that usually belongs to Salim Benali. And I actually turned this into a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment for a couple of sisters who are living together. At first I was thinking I was going to be doing another build in my color drenched series, so I started off with a lot of this sort of like watermelon red color, and I was thinking I was going to go for this, but as it evolved I decided to add a lot more color into this space other than just the red, and it quickly became an apartment that I just thought would be perfect for a couple of sisters who love a lot of color in their space. So I really hope you will enjoy this one. If you do, you can download it off of the gallery. It is available right now under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You can also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. So starting in the kitchen as usual, this is where the whole color scheme came from. I really wanted to specifically use this swatch of these counters from Home Chef Hustle. I do use these counters and appliances and tiles quite a bit, but I couldn't tell you the last time I used them in this red swatch. I'm not sure if I have. It's a really pretty color. It's just not a color I tend to go towards very often, so I thought it'd be fun to be inspired by that. And like I said, I was originally going for more of a color drenched vibe, so you'll see for a while it's very, very red. I do add in and change some swatches a little bit later, and the bedrooms are slightly different, with one of them having a primarily red color scheme and the other one being more yellow and blue, which are two colors that I end up having in the rest of the space as well. I would say it's almost primary colors in here, not quite, but I actually, before I started working on this build, I started working on a different one that is using primary colors, which I'm hoping to have out on the channel sometime this week. So it is like red, yellow, blue, but more the traditional versions of those when you think of the primary colors. So this one has a lot of other colors in it as well. There's a bunch of pinks, and it was really fun to do. And it's kind of funny because I had started the other one first, and then this happened, and I was like, oh no, I'm doing the same color scheme, but I feel like they're different enough, and so that should be out sometime later this week. But anyway, right now I am figuring out where I want to have the living room, and I decided to make it a little bit smaller and have sort of a formal entryway, or just like an entry room that has a closet in it. And then I'm figuring out what sort of rug I want to have here. I ended up going with this fluffy rug from City Living in a really neutral swatch just to break it up a little bit because there's so much bright red going on. So I thought that that would look nice. And then I wanted to create sort of a gallery wall up above this couch. These are not the paintings I end up keeping, although the flower one is. But the other ones I do end up changing out later as I evolve the concept of this build. But right now I am just picking out what TV unit I want. I also decided to add a bookcase over here. That one is from high school years, I'm pretty sure. And a nice little plant. I also ended up swapping out these archways a few different times. And in the end, I ended up going with the archways that actually came with the Cozy Bistro kit, which I thought were so pretty. They have like sliding doors that open, and I was really glad that I changed those, so you'll see that in a little while. But right now I'm adding some pink pillows to the couch. These are the pillows that came with the login event for base game a couple of weeks ago now. So I ended up just grabbing 4 of those and rotating them with the tool mod to make them feel like they were actually leaning on the couch instead of sitting straight up. So I just get 2 of those on each couch, and I left in the footage of me actually maneuvering those with tool. In case that is helpful for anyone on how to go ahead and do this themselves. I am also working on that tool, like sort of tutorial that I've mentioned before that I want to do on the channel because I've been asked so many times, which is not fully a tutorial. It's like me showing how I approach certain things and the numbers I use and how I get myself to understand what I'm doing. It's not a full-on tutorial, but I have started working on that, so hopefully that will be out sometime this month as well. We shall see, since we are getting a new expansion pack, and I'm going to be wanting to post a ton of content with that once I have access. So I'm not sure when that'll be out, but it is something that I'm actively working on right now. I'm writing down all of the things I want to include, and I'm kind of excited about that one. It's always fun to do a little bit of something different, whether that's a tutorial or more challenge videos. I have some of those in the works as well, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, in the kitchen here, I'm just hanging up some pots and pans and some aprons, and then I'm going to decorate the counters with some clutter. Of course, I have to get my favorite cutting boards, even though there's cutting boards directly below these in that little shelf portion of the counters. I think it's kind of cute, but I still really like to add those on countertops. It helps fill in the space and doesn't take up any of the slots. I also added this plant over here, which later on I'm going to change to have a blue pot instead, as I was trying to get away from everything being like this orangey red. So that will change, but I do love the curtains that I used in this kitchen. I end up using these in all of the rooms in a variety of swatches, but these curtains are from the Paranormal Stuff Pack, which is such a good stuff pack. I really like that one. I also added this little calendar on the side of the fridge, once again using Tool to go ahead and move this so it doesn't snap to the wall, and I am going to change the swatch of that a little bit later as well. But it feels like a realistic thing to have stuff hanging on the side of the fridge, so that's why I decided to do that. And then I am just getting a tray that has like a teapot and stuff on it for this dining table, which is also from the Paranormal Stuff Pack. But now we are heading on into the bathroom, and I'm trying to figure out which tiles I want to use in here. It isn't as red as the rest of the apartment, but I think that makes sense. It just has some old tile. This is like an older style bathroom I was going for in the city, with the like clawfoot tub. We have a nice pedestal style sink. Well, not quite pedestal. It feels that way because the counter doesn't go all the way to the ground. It has some storage under it. I do really like this sink. It is from Tiny Living, I'm pretty sure. And then this mirror matched perfectly. It is from the Dream Home Decorator pack. And then I grabbed a towel rack to go above the toilet, and the towel on there is red, which was perfect for the rest of the apartment. And then what I actually end up adding in here that I thought was really fun and something I never use is there ends up being a rug in here that I use sort of as a bath mat, and it's technically one of the little rugs like infants lie on, but it's a watermelon, and that was like the exact color that I wanted, so I was really excited about that. I thought it was a cute little detail, and I love things like that in real life and in The Sims, just like some quirky little rugs and things like that. Like we have the dog bed that looks like a fried egg. I love that one. Anyway, this is where I am picking out the bed for the primary bedroom, which matches the reds in the rest of the apartment. This one is from high school years. I'm pretty sure the other bed I grabbed is also from high school years for the other bedroom. And at this point, I haven't really fully added as much other color to the rest of the apartment as I wanted to, but I did bring in this red brick to add some extra texture. And I decided at this point to have a couple of like holes in the wall and exposed brick in other areas throughout the apartment to make it look a little bit older. And I feel like it just added a lot of character to the space. I also really enjoyed adding that mirror up above those dressers and making it look like it's built in. I think that is so fun and realistic, and like kind of what I experienced growing up. Every dresser had a built-in mirror. I didn't have to like buy a separate one and hang it up. It matched the style of the dresser. And we only have one of those in The Sims, which is the dresser that came with Cottage Living, which I don't like to use all the time. So it's nice to have some things that match the same swatch that I can combine for this purpose. And then I just added some like makeup and jewelry and stuff up on this dresser. And I love how colorful the paintings are above the bed. I do end up using that in a different swatch in the other room as well. And I'm just really happy with it. And then I just got a little plant and some bags hanging on the wall. I just wanted the space to feel cluttered and lived in, and I feel like I achieved that. But definitely let me know what you think in the comments. And then we're just finishing up this room with a plant and a painting on the wall. And of course, another pillow in the chair, which I think is so cute. Having these pillows is such a game changer. I feel like it just allows you to customize all of the different pieces in the game and make everything a little bit more unique. But anyway, we are into the other bedroom now. I wasn't sure who I wanted in this space yet, other than I knew it was going to be a sister, but I wasn't sure if they were going to be younger, the same age. And ultimately, I decided they were probably similar in age, maybe within a couple of years. And I ended up going with this bed, which I think is so pretty. These swatches, like the swatch of this bed, gorgeous. It has some of that reddish pink tone that the rest of the apartment has, and the yellows and the blues. It just felt like the perfect bed, where it didn't feel like it was straying from the color scheme that much. It felt like it was kind of enhancing it and pulling out some of those accent colors from the rest of it. So I just decorated these bedside tables with some books and makeup and a lamp. And then, of course, decorating the walls as well. I did get a long mirror over on this side. And we're going to be grabbing a rug. And I had mentioned the same artwork that I have in the other room in a different swatch that I think ends up being the perfect piece for this space. I do also end up adding the collage from the Decor to the Max kit above the bed, which is a bit fun. It's very busy, but I thought that this room made sense for that. And then also this vertical planter. I thought that could be fun for the sim to enjoy growing some plants. So I decided to put that by the window. I thought that made the most sense. And I also got this funky mirror from the Pastel Pop Kit and brought in some more brick. And then I'm just going to be decorating this space with some more plants. I put some on the wall here and I get a lamp up above that. Maybe it's a grow light. Maybe it's just an accent light. I'm not sure, but I thought it looked nice. It felt like there was something missing up in that space. So I thought that that was a good way to fill that spot. And then this is where I'm going through and grabbing some clutter from high school years. I do really like this one that has the rose and like the little mirror and with the, what's that called? Camera. I don't know why I couldn't think of that name for a moment there. And then, of course, the jewelry box from the Crystal Creations stuff pack. I think that's such a beautiful piece that I use quite often now. It's just so realistic to have a jewelry box, and I really hope we get more in the future, especially if we can get them in various styles. I know when I was growing up, I had a more traditional looking jewelry box that was like brown with gold handles and like stained glass windows in it. But now as an adult, I have like a gray leather one that has, I think, silver poles because I'm not much of a gold person. I don't really care for the color gold. So it'd be cool to have some variety in those. And then also, so they would just like fit in more spaces because I feel like the one we have right now is very specific and it is very like this person has a lot of crystal jewelry, which is fine because that's what the pack was. But that's something I would love to see more of in the future. I'm always happy to get some more clutter items. And speaking of clutter items, I think in the trailer, like the second trailer for the new Lovestruck expansion pack, the what is the second trailer called? It's like a gameplay trailer, walkthrough trailer. It looks like there is like a stand of weights. Like we might be able to have weights in our Sims houses and gyms. I'm very excited about that. That's a piece of clutter we have not had yet, so that's really cool. Anyway, back to this build. I'm just finishing up some of the artwork, swapping some of this out over here, changing some of the colors, like having this blue rug. The calendar is now yellow, and I got some mugs over here on the counter as well. And with that, we are heading on into screenshots. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.